shooting prevention. Yesterday's Ohio school shooting has Provo School District planning ahead to prevent a similar tragedy.
Planned assassination. Russian media says security officers stopped a plan to kill Prime Minister Putin.
Title IX legacy. How the controversial law still influences the BYU athletic program 40 years later. I'm Anna Hayes.
And I'm Kara Teo. It's Tuesday, February 28th, and in Utah, it's 12 o'clock.
From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. This is the award-winning 11 News at noon.
2 more victims in the Ohio high school shootings are now dead. Medical examiners say Russell King Jr. died this morning and Demetrius Hewlin passed away shortly after. Witnesses say the shooter opened fire on campus yesterday and he was not aiming randomly. He was singling out specific people in the cafeteria. 5 students at Chardon High School were shot, including Daniel Parmenter, who died yesterday. Police say it could have been much worse. The assistant football coach chased the shooter out of the school where police were waiting. The teenage boy accused in the shooting is expected to go before a judge today, and the school is closed today to let students be home with their families. And it's a scene that occurs far too often on campuses across the nation. With the Ohio high school shooting, school officials place their attention once again on safety preparation. 11 News reporter Corey Aldis is live in the newsroom. Corey, how do local school districts here in Utah prepare for events like this?
Yeah, Anna, I spoke with officials in Provo, and they gave me more insight into the precautions they're taking to help ensure safety.
Provo School District officials say they realize they are no exception to the rule. School shootings can happen anywhere, so it's vital for each district to plan accordingly and effectively.
For whatever reason that causes people to respond this way or to act this way, and it's an unfortunate part of our society. You try to do all that you can to prevent it so that kids report it, that they see it, and then you try to, provide the best kind of support.
The need for preparation can't be underestimated. Provo School District uses an emergency plan split up into 4 main sections and then provide training on how to put it into action. This helps to protect and prepare both students and staff in case of a serious emergency like a school shooting.
We sit down and have a scenario, review with them what our training, what our policy procedures are, and then take them through the experience, adding pieces to the scenario so they have to respond, and then we review it. So we spend a half day together with their team.
These emergency drills are taken very seriously, and although they can't guarantee 100% safety in the school, districts like Provo continue to update their protocol and procedures to ensure students and staff are out of harm's way.
The district says with their plans and training that they are well prepared for any type of emergency. Live in the newsroom, Corey Aldis, 11 News.
Good to be prepared. Thanks, Corey.
Provo software company Novell is looking to sell their office buildings in the East Bay Business Park, but they might not be moving. Novell is negotiating with real estate company CBRE to sell, then lease back all but 6 of their buildings. This allows Novell employees to continue working in the tower building where they run their corporate headquarters. An unusual shooting in Taylorsville has ended in felony charges of firearms and sexual abuse. Christian Paul says when he tried to shoot a mouse in his pantry last December, the bullet passed through the wall, hitting his roommate in the chest instead. When officers searched the house, they also found a 13-year-old girl hiding in the basement. She says counselor. He is now facing charges of 2 counts of child rape. Utah's gay and lesbian community plans to rally at the Capitol for equality in the workplace. The LGBT community says they want a law that will protect them from being fired based on their sexual orientation or gender identity. 14 cities and counties passed ordinances that ban discrimination against the LGBT community.
The Utah House passed a bill that could give a tuition break to military members from outside of Utah. The bill would allow reservists who are stationed here to pay in-state tuition rates. Military veterans discharged in the past year who take steps to become Utah residents could also pay in-state tuition. The bill now moves on to the Senate. And the results are in, and Utah ranks 4th in the nation for its overall well-being. Thousands of Americans are surveyed on categories like emotional and physical health, work environments, and emotional behavior. The Beehive State is in the top 10 for its economic confidence, and the Aloha State comes in first overall for the 3rd year in a row.
I can't say I'm surprised with the Aloha State.
Why?
Well, it's still to come on 11 News at noon. Plot against Putin. Officials stopped an alleged plan to assassinate the Russian Prime Minister. But who was behind the plan?
And presidential primaries. Romney and Santorum battle for Michigan. But who has the upper hand in winning the votes? We'll be right back. A new bill passed through the Utah House that would allow jails to forcibly feed and hydrate their inmates. This is after a Salt Lake County prisoner lost 98 pounds on a hunger strike, starving himself to death. The bill requires that any involuntary feeding be done only under medical supervision and provides exceptions for medical and religious fasts. And federal prisons may have a new way to pass the time with iPods and MP3 players. The U.S. Bureau of Prisons is doing a test run in West Virginia where inmates can listen to tunes from a list of nearly 1 million approved songs. The Bureau bans obscene or racially charged music. If the test is successful, 200,000 inmates across the nation will have iPods of their own. Federal officials say music could help decrease idleness, boredom, and stress in prisons, but an Iowa senator is afraid the technology will be used as inmate currency.
Michigan and Arizona are holding their primary elections today, and there's an unexpected battle in Mitt Romney's home state. Renee Marsh shows us what the fight is going to come down to.
Mitt Romney and Rick Santorum are in a statistical tie for first place in a state Romney had once expected to easily win.
It's good to be in Michigan. A lot of stories here, deep roots here.
Victory in Michigan, the state where he was born and where his father served as governor, could cement Romney's status as presumptive nominee. But a loss could deal a major blow to his campaign. Romney's been touting his business background in the state, which was hit hard by the recession.
I understand why jobs go, why they come. Senator Santorum's a nice guy, but he's never had a job in the private sector.
Santorum's been playing up his conservative credentials.
Because I believe in markets. I believe in free people. I don't believe in government telling us what to do. We need someone like that running against Barack Obama, not someone who did Obamacare light.
Both candidates have kept their focus on Michigan since last week, as Romney now appears to have a solid lead in Arizona. Newt Gingrich effectively skipped both states and is counting on a strong performance in the South on Super Tuesday, 1 week from today. Ron Paul briefly campaigned in Michigan and is working towards amassing enough delegates to have some sway at the Republican convention in August.
Romney says he is confident in winning Arizona's vote and says he is now focusing his attention on the 10 states primaries on Super Tuesday, March 6th.
A cruise ship is drifting off the coast of Italy, an assassination plot in Russia surfaces, and Spain battles for sunken treasure. This is your look at news from around the world. A sister ship to the Costa Concordia is drifting at sea after an engine room fire. All passengers aboard the Costa Allegra are safe, but the fire disabled the ship, making it lose propulsion. This is just 1 month after the Concordia sunk, killing 21 people. Costa Allegra is 200 miles off the coast of Seychelles Islands, and rescuers are on the way. Ukrainian security foiled a plot to assassinate Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin. Reporter Phil Black has more from Moscow.
The details of this alleged plot have been revealed by a Russian state-owned television network. In a news report, it says an explosion in an apartment in the Ukrainian city of Odessa 2 months ago was caused by homemade explosives. It says one person was killed in the apartment, a second person was injured and captured, a third man was also hurt but managed to flee. Ukrainian security services tracked him down, capturing him in this raid about a month later. The news report didn't say why his face was bleeding after he was captured, but in the report the man is heard confessing to his involvement in the alleged plot. He says the plan was for the men to travel to Moscow to attack what are described as economic targets, with the ultimate goal an assassination attempt against Vladimir Putin. The plan was to attack his motorcade using a military mine, he says. The report doesn't mention where they hope to get the mine from. For Putin's critics and opponents, the timing is suspiciously convenient, they say, especially given the authorities have known about this alleged plot for well over a month, and it is now only being made public on a state-owned network less than a week out from the presidential poll. They say it is a clear attempt to try and boost Putin's performance, his share of the vote on March the 4th. But the way he's travelling in this campaign, he doesn't look like he needs that sort of help. The latest opinion polls show he is set for a very comfortable victory. Phil Black, CNN, Moscow.
And stories of sunken ships and gold treasure are more than just fairy tales. The ship Mercedes left Peru in 1804, but the treasure didn't make it to Spain until now. 5 years ago, a Florida marine company found the estimated $500 million worth of gold and silver coins in the Atlantic, but after a long legal battle, Spain won the treasure. Spanish officials say they will be showing off the coins as soon as they are properly restored. And that's your look at news from around the world. Kara, back to you.
When 11 News at noon returns. Title IX, see how 40 years later this law is helping both male and female athletes. Pancake Party, it's National Pancake Day. Where should you go to get your tasty breakfast free of charge?
And you might want to get some hot chocolate with that free breakfast. There could be cold weather coming your way. I'll have your 11 News weather when we return.
It was a cold and snowy walk up to campus for me today.
It looks like it stopped snowing maybe a little bit, but as I was walking up, my hair was getting all wet.
Yeah, it'll come back again, and there'll be more snow later on during the week. Oh, gosh. But taking a look outside right now, we can see those white rooftops out there. And if we look up in the sky, there is significant cloud coverage. We can expect those on and off again snow bursts throughout the day and even into the night. Currently outside right now, it's 34 degrees. Our humidity is 80% with all that snowfall and rain, and our wind speed is at a calm 9 miles per hour. Nothing too significant. Later on tonight, we will receive a drop in temperature. We'll narrowly miss the 30s with a low of 29. We'll still have cloud coverage tonight, and our sunset we can expect at 6:19 p.m. Taking a look at our vapor map, we can get a better idea of what's going on with this snowstorm. What we're looking at right now, this green area right here is our concentrated areas of water, which means our snow and rainfalls. As we can see, it's hitting northern Utah, central Utah, and blowing out into eastern Utah. Taking a look at our sat map, we can take a better picture of what we're catching here. We can see this tail end of this system right here that we're catching here in Utah. For Utah highs, we can see that affecting us. We'll have our lowest Utah high up in Logan with 36. We'll warm up just a bit with Salt Lake and Provo 40, Cedar City at 38, and our highest St. George at 52. With their southern 5-day forecast, we can see that storm affecting them. Today they'll actually get snowfall. It'll clear up a bit on Wednesday, but hit again Thursday, but it'll clear right up Friday and into Saturday. Completely sunny, high of 60. Up in northern Utah, we can see the storm affecting us. Of course, today we've had those on and off again snowstorms. Wednesday we'll get a significant amount of rain. Thursday we're back to snow, even into Friday. Our highs are the same on those 2 days, 38 degrees, and Saturday we'll hit a high of 46.
And some sun. I'm ready for the snow and rain to end and have a sunny weekend.
You'll get that on Saturday.
That's right, that's right.
Very true.
Yeah, well, thank you, Kiga.
You're welcome.
So, Bridget, what's going on in the sports world?
Well, even though BYU regular season college basketball is just about over, there's still plenty going on in the sports world. Next on sports, athletes alike, celebrating the anniversary of Title IX in college athletics that has leveled the playing field. The law that aims to end gender discrimination in sports turns 40 this year. As 11 sports reporter Brady Tucker tells us, Title IX has leveled the playing field for men's and women's sports.
Title IX says there can't be any gender discrimination in any education programs, and in this country, that includes sports. Although BYU has several successful women's teams today, it wasn't always like that.
They had reduced opportunities based on funding primarily. So a lot of them maybe had a coach who also coached 3 other sports. They didn't have their own uniforms. They maybe were wearing the old men's uniforms.
Fewer than 30,000 women participated in NCAA sports before Title IX, but today that number is almost 500% what it once was. The student-athlete building at BYU is home to 11 women's sports teams, which is one more than the men have.
Because BYU gives so many scholarships to male athletes on the football team, it provides female athletes with more scholarships in other sports. Take the women's volleyball team. They get 12 scholarships, while the men's team only gets 4.5. Penfield says compliance with Title IX has done nothing but help BYU.
You can't always say that just because you invest more money in something that you're going to get a better return, but we've seen that our return on investment in women's sports has been great here at BYU, and we continue to invest in them as we do our male athletes.
More women's sports also means more chances for national titles thanks to Title IX. On the BYU campus, Brady Tucker, 11 Sports.
Gender equality promoters around the country will hold conferences and celebrations this June to recognize Title IX's 40th anniversary. And there's snow on the ground here in Provo, but that's not keeping the Cougar baseball team from taking the field. While BYU baseball hasn't played any home games yet, they are down south today to take on the 4th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. Our Cougars are 4-2 on the season after taking on UC Riverside and St. Mary's earlier this month. First pitch of the 2-game series is at 2 p.m. Mountain Time this afternoon. And the Jazz are in Sacramento to take on Jimmer and the Kings tonight, and hopefully the All-Star break did the Jazz some good. They're coming off a 3-game losing streak and have only won 3 out of 14 road games this season. The Kings, on the other hand, have snapped their 6-game losing streak with a win last week before the break. Tip-off is tonight at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And it looks like Jimmer and the Kings will be staying in Sacramento. After 3 days of negotiations in Orlando this weekend, the Kings organization and the NBA announced a tentative deal to keep the Kings in California's capital. And Sacramento Mayor Kevin Johnson seems to be pretty excited.
The commissioner stayed extra to be here to make sure that we can get to where we are.
Both the Maloof family, who owns the Kings, and AEG upped their offers to make a new arena in Sacramento a possibility. The City Council will vote on the proposed deal on March 6th, and considering the Council has approved every arena-related measure yet for this new project, the Kings shouldn't be too worried.
It'd be so sad to have your home team uprooted from its namesake.
That's right. I can't imagine how Jazz fans would feel if we were no longer in Salt Lake City.
It'd be so weird.
That's right. Thanks, Bridget. No problem. So to come on 11 News at noon, Hot Cake Heaven, where you can go to get your fill of these tasty treats. And for free, we'll be right back.
Thousands of pancake lovers have extra motivation to go out for breakfast today. It's National Pancake Day. Today, anyone can stop in at IHOPs across the nation for a short stack of their famous buttermilk pancakes, completely free. Flapjack fans are asked to make a donation to the Children's Miracle Network in return. Since 2006, the International House of Pancakes has raised $8 million.
I'm so excited. I'm going tonight to get my free pancakes.
Sounds like a wonderful idea. Breakfast all day long.
Exactly. I'm always okay with that. And you know, breakfast is good any time of day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Have you been before?
I have not, but I want to go tonight.
Let's go tonight.
Today's the day. It's free. That's your 11 News at noon for February 28th.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching and have a great afternoon.